I think as men, we always go through the motion of my wife, girlfriend, your partner's pregnant, and it's kind of it. You just go through it. But no one really ever takes the time to tell you, like, hey, if you do X, Y, and Z, this is how you know you're ready to have a baby. How did I decide when I knew I was ready to be a dad? I actually dumbed it down to like three categories. One is kind of time mixed with age. Growing up, I really felt selfish in the sense of, I need as much time as possible to complete my goals, get promoted in a job, workouts. To me, it's like I don't have time to sit there and, take care of a baby, feed it, change it. And I've been through those things, especially with, since I have a brother and sister. My brother's 10 years younger than me, my sister's like 15 years younger than me. So when I was about their age, I was helping my parents change their diapers, do their milks. So I kind of got an experience already of what it would take to be a dad, right, or a parent. So it really pushed it away from me. I'm like, yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay for now. But you do get to a point where now it's like, okay, you know what? My parents had me at a young age. I'm able to go out with them and, eat with them, have a beer with them, and enjoy time as an adult. And for one, I didn't want to deprive myself of that opportunity because now I'm in my 30s. So now I think to myself, okay, well, my kid is 20, I'm going to be 50. When they're 30, I'm going to be 60, etc. So now the older you get, of course, your kids are going to be older, or does that even make sense? I also want to be present with them. So what I mean by that is not just being alive, being like active, being physically fit to be able to go, like, hey, let's go rock climb, let's go swim, let's go do X, Y, and Z, as opposed to me being so old that I can't do that and enjoy those activities with them. That was a really big contribution to my choice of, okay, you know what, I think I am ready to be a dad, and it's going to come with sacrifices, and I may not be able to do all the things that I can do or used to do. And then for me as well, my grandparents, for the most part, they all passed away. I got the opportunity to meet all of them, and besides my grandma from my mother's side, she passed away when I was like 3, 4 years old. So I have vivid memories, not too many. For example, I only have the memory of me pushing her into the bathtub while she was trying to give me a shower. Yeah, I was a bad kid, so that's another thing of why I'm dreading having a kid, or why I dreaded having one, because man, I was terrible as a little kid. Like, they would have to swing me and, just to calm me down. So yeah, it's gonna be one of those karma things where here we go. Now it's my turn. Like, here's a taste of your own medicine. I want to be able to give my kids the opportunity to have that relationship with the grandparents, because they're getting older. I don't want them to get to a point where they're no longer here, and now it's just like, oh, they will ask you, how was granddad? Like, how was grandma? Like, instead of them actually experiencing it. So time and age play a big factor into it, but it's not the only factor that you should really think about that makes you decide to have a kid. For example, the second category that I really thought about before I decided that I was ready to be a dad was finance. How much are you in debt? Do you have your own place? Do you live with roommates? Do you live with your family still? If you have your own family and you live with your family, is there enough space to do that? Are they going to be okay with you living there? So it's kind of a multi-layer thing. For me, I wanted to be financially free, which what really pushed off kids. But reality, real world, I'm not there. I don't think I'm going to get there anytime soon. Few years, hopefully. But then I think to myself, okay, well, by the time I do get there, which for one, I don't know how long that's going to take. That could be next year. That could be 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. I don't know how long that's going to take. Am I really going to dictate that to me starting my own family? So I thought more logically. Okay, let me not be in debt. Let me have my own place so I can have my own family. And let me have a good financial plan that, regardless if I can't be financially free or rich, whatever it is, I have a plan that is taking me out of debt. I'm saving, and I started a save fund for a baby. So now, financially, I feel more secure, more ready to have a baby. So right now, that is what I what I am doing. As soon as I found out my wife was pregnant, every check I put $100. So I have like an Ally bank account, and you can have your own little buckets in there, and then you can distribute money, and you could label the buckets whatever you want. So for mine, it's just baby. So every check I put $100 to that bucket, and whatever expenses come about, I'll grab it from there. And this is just going to be a forever thing from now on. So from now until she grows up, that will be money for her. Think of like graduations, textbooks, and that's crazy. You think so far ahead, and like they're not even born yet. Really crazy. So 200 a month starting now. Once I'm out of debt, I'm able to kind of go back into my plan, what I'm doing, and I'm able to pump more into it. Or if I make more money, now you can readjust and put more money into it. But more importantly, I just really wanted to start something. So if something happens, then I have some money to help cover it, even if I can't cover all of it. So finances was my category 2 of what made me feel like I was ready to be a dad and really take on that. Part of it is I have a really good paying job, right? I make over 6 figures, not on the YouTube, obviously, but in my own job. So I have breathing room. I don't feel like, man, I'm in debt. I'm getting myself more in debt. You know what I'm saying? So me being in debt was just the result of my poor actions that got me there. It's not the lack of money that I got. Like I always tell my wife, because we talk about our finances a lot, is like, hey, it's not how much you make, it's what you do with what you make. And now for my third category, in which helped me decide if I was ready to be a dad. I honestly think this is the most important one out of the other two, and that's choosing the right partner. It really is. You can find someone that you love, and you have this amazing connection with, but how will they be as a parent? I actually had the luxury that my wife actually had kids before I met her, so I got to see it firsthand of how she is as a mother. How the relationship is, how she is. So this gave me an idea of what she would be with the kids if something happens to me, right? I pass away, whatever it is. But finding the right partner is so important, because you got to see it this way. There's a lot of people that, they're really great at business. They make a lot of money, they have their own stuff, but then when they go home, they're very dirty, they're very messy, they don't have like their life together, they have bad habits, like super in debt, gambling, smoking, drinking, like the list goes on. And that's scary, right? To me, it was more scary of, who am I going to leave my kid with if something happens? And now if your partner doesn't have kids and you can't really see that physically of how she would be, there's ways around it, right? You can see how they are as a person. Are they caring? How do they treat you? Do they cook for you? Do they care for you when you're sick? Do they like bring you medicine? Do they do kind of things that you would expect a mom to do to a kid, right? Do they worry about you? Do they follow up on you? Do they help you achieve goals? If you have family with kids, take them to family events with the kids and see how they act with those kids. Now, yes, it's very different because they're not going to be her own kids. But women, for the most part, do love kids. And they tell you a lot by you just looking at them and how they deal with kids. Do they get like snarky with the kids? Do they get mad at the kids? Do they want to like yell at them or like hit them? Or like, do they just want to leave wherever you are because there's kids there? Believe it or not, there's women now that actually don't want to have kids. So me personally, I loved how my wife is with our other kids and that relationship she has. And it made me want that for myself. I was like, man, I'm not going to want that for myself. Although I have it with them, right? But it's just, you could love kids as much as you want, but it's just different when it's your own blood. It really is. And you could love the kids as if they're your own, but at the end of the day, if me and my wife don't work out, we get divorced or whatever it is, kids are leaving. It's not like I could fight for custody rights for them, right? Unless you, there's probably a whole legal thing of it, but you get what I'm saying is that kids can be taken away. So those are the 3 categories I used that made me realize, I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I'm ready to be a dad. Let's do it. What about you guys? Did you guys ask yourself specific questions? Was there like categories? Did you just find out your girl was pregnant, and now you're like, well, I mean, it is what it is. So, which that's the case, and that kind of sucks, you know. Like, I want to be able to. So I'm documenting this, hopefully helping people out there that doesn't have to be like that. You want to be ready for stuff because it sucks when you're not. It really does. So, this video helped you out. Do me a favor, give it a like, and if you want to see more content like this, subscribe to the channel so you can see more videos like this. I'll see you then.